Welcome to Flip Through Friday. I'm going to flip through my bohemian junk journal. So I'm hoping there's lots of ideas here for you for your junk journals, some ephemera ideas, and maybe some new techniques. I'm going to bring you closer down so you can join us on this journey. A journey over the world and through time as well. Last year, Maria sent me this gorgeous folder. I used it as a cover. You can see she's got gold and napkins and sewing on there. And she also sent me some beautiful dyed papers. No, the papers are from Alicia. The papers are from Alicia. That's right. And I thought, oh, this will make a fantastic boho journal. So I've been collecting ever since, and it's not finished. I will still have it on the shelf, and then I tuck things in. Let's look through. Let's go on Blondel's journey around the world. Here she is. Isn't she beautiful? On the morning of the 15th of August, 1880, Blondel Lovegrove, who believed in the power of the pen, stepped out into the London fog and onto the steps of number 24 Crystal Palace Place. The area had sprung up, modest-sized mansions, after the arrival of the actual Crystal Palace following the Great Exhibition in Hyde Park. This was one of Prince Consort Albert's finest achievements. Here's a picture of the style of house that Blondel lived in. This book was given to me by Julia, and it was first published in 1880. And here's a family packing their trunk, ready to go abroad. He climbed into the awaiting carriage, followed by Felicity Heartfelt. Here's Felicity. Felicity Heartfelt, who believed in the power of love, had the role, although being only 3 years her senior, of being Blondel's strict governess, although she was hoping to find true love on their travels. It was normal practice for those of a certain wealth and social standing in society to send their male offspring on the grand tour in search of art and culture, travelling to distant lands. Blondel's parents hoped by sending their daughter it would round off her extensive education and brushing up on her languages and culture, but most of all, deportment. Blondel had never really mastered the art of deportment. She preferred reading her books to balancing them on her head. Here's their domed trunk, ready to pack. The dome trunks were for the more wealthy traveller because they couldn't be stacked on top of one another. Oh, here's their ticket. Dover to Paris. And they boarded the boat over to France. Here's the sort of scenes that Blondel saw as she was sitting people watching. I love people watching. That's one of the fantastic things about travel, isn't it? Here's the train they boarded. Oh, here's the little note that Maria sent with the cover. Plenty scope for putting pages and more pictures in this. This is actually one of Blondel's feather pens. Isn't that beautiful? I'm still gathering more pictures. Here's one of their teas that they had in Paris. Maybe that'll go in this little book here. It's always fun to keep collecting, isn't it? Blondel Lovegrove, who believed in the power of the pen, accompanied by her seemingly strict governess, Felicity Hartfelt, who believed in the power of love, had spent a glorious week in Paris. By far the highlight had been their visit to the famous milliner's shop, Monsieur Pierre Chaput. He believed in the power of the sewing needle. On entering the shop, they were surrounded by shelves and bookcases full of hats. All colours and brightly adorned. Blondel and Felicity tried on so many and couldn't choose just one. Oh, my dears, how would you choose? You can buy as many as you like, for I am a metamorphic milliner. Let me show you. One size fits all. The hats did fit Blondel and Felicity perfectly, and as they were placed in their bags, they changed shape and became small enough to fit in their luggage. All thoughts of deportment were long forgotten, and they lay exhausted on their chaise longue, nibbling croissant. They noticed a letter being pushed under the door. Felicity ran and snatched it up and read it. Here it is. Meet on the steps of Notre Dame at 11 o'clock. Your transport awaits. Flinging their clothes in trunks, they rang for a carriage and arrived with minutes to spare. When they reached the steps of Notre Dame Cathedral, they couldn't believe what spectacle met their eyes. It was what only could be described as a luxurious, hot air balloon. Where to, my lady? Blondel and Felicity looked at one another and smiled and nodded. Yolanda Lovegrove, who believed in the power of the pen, and Felicity Hartfelt, who believed in the power of love, sat on their amazing balcony, watching the ocean below as their hot, airish balloon floated on its way to Venice. I wonder if this was the first Airbnb. All of a sudden, a little bird flew onto Blondel's hand, the dearest little baby toucan. Oh, this was to become her little pet and companion for the rest of her journey. And in its beak, it held a ticket to go to the masked balls in Venice. Queen of the Adriatic, city of bridges, city of canals. Whatever you call this beautiful city, you can be sure to find romance, for the name Venice is derived from the Indo-European root wen, meaning love. These tickets were sent to me from Janice Kleins. Pop those in there. While visiting Venice, they were fortunate enough to be there in October for the grand masked ball, and they made the most of it and dressed up in their fanciful masks and joined in with everybody else. Here they are, getting ready one evening to go out to the ball. As well as writing and reading, one of the things that Blondel enjoyed while she was in Venice was people watching. Their room was just overlooking, just above St. Peter's Square. Isn't it gorgeous? And she watched the ladies with their parasols, keeping the sun from their faces. There's the lakes, the picture of the lakes the canals that they went on and the gondolas. And one day, when Blondel was on her balcony, resting and restoring and taking a breath, she saw this little girl. She saw this dear little girl. Because not only could Blondel travel distances, she could travel in time. She had a special watch that she found in the hot air balloon, and she could turn it and go to different times. And she visited St. Peter's Square in 1980 as well. And then when she was there, she saw this little girl, and she had a little red hat on, and she was with her father, and the little girl was feeding the pigeons. Isn't she lovely? And she was there with her father. Here she is. And the little girl remembered that a pigeon actually sat on her little red hat. Isn't she gorgeous? How amazing to be able to not only travel distances, but travel through the ages as well. This is wonderful for Blondel's writing. I'm sure she went on to write many stories in the journals over the years. Back they hopped into their hot air balloon and they visited India. Can you imagine visiting India just on a little day trip? Can you imagine? 2 hours later, they landed in a country full of colour and fabric hanging from every branch of the trees. Mangala Thamparati, who believed in the power of the paintbrush, welcomed them with open arms and tasty snacks, and they spent a glorious day amongst her art and collections of beautiful fabrics. I'll put a link in below because I need to look at her name again. Mangala Thamparati was a real person. So you'll be able to look up. She was a woman, female artist, so you'll be able to look up her information. Look at the beautiful, beautiful cloths and fabrics that Blondel was able to bring home from her travels. She watched them printing the fabrics too and was able to bring this home with her. I wonder if she made some fabric for curtains when she got home. It's lovely to have souvenirs when you go away, isn't it? Here's a souvenir from her day in India. Isn't this gorgeous? It was made by Ali Cousins. Wonderful, and it goes so beautifully in this journal. Thank you, Ali. When they were in their hot air balloon, they just jumped in and came back to England. I think it was a magical, mystical hot air balloon. They could go back to Broadstairs. This was one of their beautiful family houses that overlooked the sea in Broadstairs. And that's where we were lucky enough to stay when we went on our family holiday. Another place that Blondel was fortunate enough to visit were the lace makers in Belgium. Isn't that beautiful to watch generations and generations making lace like this by hand? Bobbin lace. Absolutely lovely. I was lucky enough to get some handmade lace all the way from Sweden, from Pamela. I'm going to later on be putting some of this in here. Isn't it gorgeous? You can imagine that the ladies had this round their dresses as well. Gosh. Here's some of the lace, and plenty room for me to do some writing in here as well. It's one of those cloth buttons we made. Oh, here's the little baby toucan. Blondel made him a special little house on the hot air balloon so he would feel right at home. this was a wonderful recipe from the 1800s. This actual magazine was from 1933. Isn't it gorgeous? Kate's recipe book, but the original one was from a Scottish magazine in the 1800s. Now, who sent me this magazine? I hadn't written it down. That's very remiss of me. Oh, do remind me if you sent me this beautiful vintage magazine from the 1930s. Gingerbread triangles, Devonshire gingerbread triangles. Ah, that made Blondell very homesick. Oh, here's the time travelling clock. Oh, and thoughts of Yorkshire. Ah, that's when Blondell was very homesick. She was dreaming of the beautiful stone walls of Yorkshire. It still looks like that today. Beautiful. Pop those in there. It's always handy to have all these paper clips to... Oh, look at Blondell. Here she is as a little girl. No wonder she liked the milliners. She goes to bed and she dreams. She dreams of hats. This is the lampshade in one of her hotel apartment rooms. But of course, she dreams that it would make a gorgeous hat. These are the heartstrings in the middle of the journal. I just used pamphlet stitch to put the journals together, and this is Lizzie Brewer's idea to put hearts on the heartstrings. Some more yummy paper fabric from Maria. I do wonder whether Felicity Lovegrove did find love. Laurie made me this. Beautiful. It's a decorated slide from the old pictures. The old slide, like a slideshow. My dad used to do that. We still have our slides. It's nice to put laces and bits and pieces on the bottom. I wonder what was inside Felicity's luggage. What sort of things did she carry? Let's have a look. Oh, yes, of course, an umbrella for those rainy days. Oh, and a little carved wooden bear. She liked to take that with her to hang up her clothes and umbrellas on. Of course, no suitcase would be complete without a magic carpet. It was rolled up and put in her luggage. It's very handy because, of course, she could quickly fly from the hot air balloon to wherever she chose to. She collected postcards along the way and put them together with fabric. Nice memories of her journey. These postcards were actually sent to me by Alicia. This is her beautiful fabric that I made into washi to put these postcards together. But I just thought they were perfect for this journal. Oh, look, there's her shoes. Oh, do you think that's what Blondel looked like when she went to the dances? Oh, memories of Blondel at Christmas time. Oh, isn't she a dear little thing? This Christmas card was sent to me by Becky Waters, and I thought, oh, that's going to go beautifully in this journal. Still plenty pages left. And also, when I get things that, are so boho-y, I'm going to put them in. Look at these beautiful paper beads. They are spectacular. This is from Miriam, all the way from Israel. The stars are always shining, and I think they have a perfect home here in this boho journal. An inspiration to the simple life. The simple life, using our scraps of paper and fabric to make sumptuous ephemera. Oh, delicious. Beth was looking through boxes that her mum had given to her, and she came across this suitcase, a little hand luggage case. Of course, Beth is in our time. She's from our art community. Jo was making dinner in the kitchen, and she was sorting through this case, and she came across, oh, it's got this Indian print in it. How amazing. Oh, ink. Oh, and a pen. Oh, maps. Gosh. A map of Surrey. Oh, how interesting. Oh, beautiful. Temple Classics. Oh, wonderful. But most interesting of all, there was a tin. So she opened the tin. Oh yes, she remembered her mother telling her about this photograph. Oh, this was her great-grandmother's farm. Her great-grandmother, Blondel. Yes. Oh, she remembers the story so well that her great-grandmother, Blondel, was named after a cow. Blondel the cow. Oh, how amazing. Oh, and then she came across scrolls of writing. Oh, it's some sort of journal. So she began to read, and she learned that Blondel, her great-grandmother Blondel, was not named after the farm cow. She was named after this amazing journal writer called Blondel, who had travelled to America all those years ago and settled down to live. Oh, that's amazing. So our story goes full circle. Let's sew some buttons on this lace, shall we? Now, you might not have any of this handmade lace, but you may have some lace or ribbon or fabric scraps. You know me, I'm always usually using scraps of pillowcases and sheets that I've ripped up. I'm using from Linda, I'm using the Chanel needles. They've got a sharpish point, but they've got a very big eye. Great for threading. I have got a threader as well, but I don't seem to be needing it for the moment, especially during the day. Let me show you the lovely buttons that Pamela B sent me. This is made from, what sort of wood is it? It's called Purple Heart. Isn't it gorgeous? My next door neighbour, Sandra, bought that from a wood turner. She must have been to some artisans fair and bought that for me. Maybe one Christmas. I used to keep it in the bedroom, but now it's so lovely to put bits and pieces in. So I had some fabric scraps and I took them out and popped the buttons in. Now what I'm doing here isn't anything new. I'm literally just sewing some buttons on. But it's always handy I'm going to put these in my Boho journal, but it's always handy to have some of this ephemera all ready. That would make a nice tab on the edge of a page, or you can just sew more buttons on. Doesn't have to be like a vintage antique-y look. You can do yours all different colours as well. Let me show you what I've been doing this week. I forgot to show you. Actually, this was last week, so I forgot to show you. I had finished my little fabric fairies. Here they are, their little face. Oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, and this little one too. She's got yo-yos as little wings, and she's got a little floaty dress, so she's got a little petticoat underneath, a little slip. So they're going to go in one in my fabric journal and one in my fairy journal. I think this is pretty straightforward. Shall we spend a little bit of time with one another? Yes, let's visit. A little bit of face-to-face time as I do some sewing, and we can have a little chat. Slice of banana cake, anyone? Oh, you think that smells nice, Freddie? Oh, are you working in your composition book? Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely flow. Oh, this page was made for you by Trish. How wonderful. And you can add some of the little ephemera that she gave you to it, can't you? Oh, that's lovely. Well, yes, as I always say, it is really nice to spend time with you. Thank you for indulging me. And it is lovely to look through and you think, oh, I remember making that, and I remember who sent me this or that. Oh, I love it. Oh, This is very simple ephemera. I love sewing buttons on bits of fabric. Doing knitting this week. I wonder what I'm knitting. It may be ready for Monday. We've got an ATC for us this week. Primrose hibiscus. Let's pull one out, shall we? Let's go from this side. Keep it fair. They're all in a vintage little index card tub. Oh, lovely. Oh, how lovely. Is that one or two? Oh, it's thick. Feeling blessed. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, so much dimension. And that's from Shannon. Oh, Art Junkie. Oh, thank you so much. That's lovely. I love the stamp that you've got on the back. Oh, that's beautiful. Let me show you. It looks like something Blondell would have had a ride in. Amazing. I'm going to put it here. That will give me inspiration throughout the week. Fabulous colour as well, Shannon. Wonderful. Thank you, Shannon. So lovely. Well, I do hope that you find some time this week to just switch off and have a bit of time for yourself. It's the most important thing, isn't it, really? What's it doing out there? Oh, just a little bit drizzly. Won't stop us going out for a walk, will it, Freddie? No. Shall we light a candle? Strength and hope to carry on. Well, we'll say goodbye. And thank you to Christina who started this hashtag. And I'll link her channel below. She does wonderful journals. Absolutely love them. And there'll be other people. Follow the hashtag Flip Through Friday. You'll find other people's. As I come across them, I will link them in the description below as well. When I started the Blondell story, because it is actually just a story, but when I started it, I did ask for names, and Beth put forward the name Blondell. So I put that into the story. So it's not actually a relative of Beth. It's one of the books that I'm going to put on my bookshelf to get out occasionally for inspiration. Bon voyage. Last year, dear friends, we met at home, and now abroad we mean to roam. With all who choose to spare the time, we'll wander to a neighbouring clime. Nor need you leave your own fireside, for with fair fancy for our guide, our winged thoughts in swallow flight shall cross the channel smooth and bright, and in despite of wind or weather, we'll make our little tour together. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful illustrations. Thank you, Julia. I'll share more as we go in other videos. Never fear. Take care, everyone. Bye. Here you go. Nice. Very nice. You ready? And whoa! Oh, that's so. Do you want me to throw it again? Drop it then, darling. Oh, we're ready. Oh, okay. I'm going to throw the ball. Hold on a minute. Are you ready? Go! Oh, it's lovely. Truly a host of golden daffodils. This was a dovecot at some stage. Oh, little daisies. Oh. And cow parsley just about to open.